This is Talisman Talks short number 4. Today we have Kasey and Molly Wells. Got it right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kasey and Molly are both senior girls wrestlers at Hayes. How is the season going so far?
The season's going pretty well. We still have a lot ahead. We are going until March this year, which is a little bit new. But we've done pretty well. We've had a few invitationals, and we have a lot of new freshmen on the team that have been performing really well. So I'm pretty happy with how we're doing so far.
Yeah, we just got back from state duels on Sunday, and we got 4th, which was ideally we would have liked to get first, but we did really well, and we did as we were expected to do, and we were really close in some of our duels, so it was a good time.
And I was talking to Miss Meyer today, just about like certain things we should ask you guys about, and she said the number one thing she said was to talk about how girls wrestling got sanctioned by the OHSAA this year. Could you explain a little bit?
Yeah. So. The big change that is happening since that we're sanctioned now is that our tournament is now going to be with the boys tournament at the Schottenstein Center in March. So if we make it past regionals as individual wrestlers and make it to the state competition, we will be competing like the same time as the boys, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, and there's been so much growth in the sport. There's so many more girls this year that most of our tournaments that last year were 1 day are now 2-day tournaments, and we have to leave on Friday and head up to our tournaments and then wrestle Friday and Saturday. So it's been pretty cool. It's been a really big change just since they sanctioned it last year.
Is that like new to Hayes, or is that new to like just girls wrestling
that's
in the state?
In the state of Ohio, that it's the new thing.
Yeah, It's now under OHSAA, and a lot of states still like kind of individually, like kind of almost club.
Yeah, it used to be Coaches Association ran our state duels, and it used to be in like a high school gym and
so
stuff.
it was like we had states, but it wasn't official states.
Got it. Yeah.
So you're speaking on like the growth of girls wrestling and stuff. Why do you think it has grown so much?
I think it definitely helps that it's become a little bit more mainstream. I know my freshman year, it was the first few people were starting to join the girls team, and I had never heard of, like, it just wasn't on my radar, like, girls wrestling. I didn't. And then I think it's just helped, like, it's been really Central Ohio teams that have really grown the sport. It's been Hayes, Olentangy Orange, Marysville, and a bunch of other teams who have taken the few girls they've had and just multiplied their lineup and brought it to like the rest of Ohio. And
I think since it's so new to so many girls, it's very accessible because you're not having there's a handful of girls who have been doing it since they were young and growing up with the sport, but there's a lot of new girls, so it's a really good time to get into it and start learning how to do it. And it's just, I think people it's just good for athletes, you know. It really challenges you and pushes you, and it's a good way to show how tough you are.
Yeah.
And so what made you guys personally decide to?
So Mr. Lamb got on me and Kasey because I had quit basketball my freshman year, and I didn't have a winter sport, and he was like, you should do wrestling, because we knew a few people like from the cross country team. Jordan Rutherford kind of brought it to our attention, like, because she wrestled our freshman year, and she was like, you should do wrestling. And then Mr. Lamb kind of encouraged us to do it. So over the summer we started like weightlifting with the team and stuff, and we just kind of fell in love with the girls and just started wrestling, and it's been uphill since there.
Yeah, I ran cross country as a freshman and sophomore. Was not very good, and so when I actually started wrestling sophomore, I went through the season and did pretty well. I was like, why am I wasting my time running? I really enjoyed the weightlifting and just how mentally it pushed you and how physically it pushed you, and I knew it was going to make me a better athlete and just make me a better like competitor and everything in the long run. So
So how many girls do you guys have on the team right now?
I think it's about 24.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
How many seniors?
It's me, Kasey, Annalie Beach, Aubrey Griner, Kaden Dew, and Gwen House.
Yes.
I think are our seniors this
Okay.
year.
Do you guys have a senior night?
Yes.
Yes, senior night is February
11th.
Okay.
I think it's against Olentangy.
Is it the same as the boys?
Yes,
Okay.
it is the same as the boys.
Do you guys, so like for your meets, is it with the boys? I know you said States is now.
Yeah, States is now, but a lot of our tournaments are still girls only
Okay.
tournaments. We've had a few where the boys have competed at the same time, but usually, like, now that it's so much bigger for girls, they try to keep the tournaments separate, because if they try to combine them, we'd be there, like, literally all day.
Yeah, and boys have way more duels than we do, because there's still a lot of schools, since girls wrestling is still new, there's still a lot of schools that don't have a girls wrestling team. And so we've only had one other duel this year, and it was against Westerville North.
Mm-hmm.
And they only had like 9 girls, so not everyone got to wrestle. And so we still don't, if they did have teams together, we'd probably do duels maybe together or something, or have our own duels, but yeah, it's still growing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they do you said you did the state meet and placed 4th. How does that get like judged, like points and stuff?
So it was a state duels tournament, which is different than a typical state tournament, because it's a team tournament.
Yeah.
And so they seeded us, all the schools. There was 8 schools, so top 8 schools that like a panel of coaches and stuff deemed the best 8 high school teams in Ohio, and we were seeded 4th, and then like everyone was else seeded 1 through 8, and so they do a bracket. So we went against the 5th ranked team, and then first went against 8th and stuff like that. And so for team, it's each one is an individual duel, so they score it like a duel. So each win you get points for. So
Colin, do you want to do your fact of the day, since we're about halfway through?
Sure, sounds good to me. So, Switzerland is notorious for being oddly neutral in warfare, right? Which associates them as being a stereotypically kind people. But I have more evidence to back this up. Humorously, my middle school cousin taught me this one, so credit to Jason Davis, he's a legend. So, Switzerland has the most strict animal control laws in all of the world. This is proven by the fact that they have certain categories of animals that they consider social pets, and you have to have more than one of them or you can straight up get arrested. For instance, if you have only one guinea pig and someone called the police on you, they could arrest you right then and there because you are abusing your guinea pig by not giving him a friend.
Really?
This is a real fact.
That's a lot.
Look up the guinea pig fact. It's fantastic.
That's a great fact.
I don't even know what to say. Thank you.
Yeah. What are some goals you guys have for this season?
So as a team, we want to get as many girls into the state tournament as possible, and so that our team has the best chance. Because even though we came in 4th at state duels, you still can get a state title if you have enough girls who compete well at the state tournament. So we'd like to get that. But really, this year, as a senior, looking back on your previous years of competing, you really reflect on how you could have done things better. And so this year, as seniors and as captains, we're just really trying to make the team culture what we want it to be. And I think it's going really well because we're having a lot of fun together, and it's honestly one of the best teams I've ever been a part of. So
Yeah. And Mr. Lamb the whole season's just been pushing. It doesn't matter if you place at these tournaments that we go to, it doesn't matter how well you do, as long as you're improving. So it's been a lot of message of just improve, look at what you did, just keep improving. And so that we're really building up to that point where we can improve and be our best at when we have to make it to states and stuff.
And what would you tell someone who's on the fence of joining the girls wrestling team?
Definitely do it. Definitely do it. Because it might seem like, ooh, gross, or like, oh, that's so tough. But really, like, you can make it really what you want it to be. Like, we have some girls who just join and they're like, I'm okay with being JV. I'm okay with just coming into practice and learning. But everyone who says that, they all end up wanting to work their hardest and wanting to be the best wrestler they can be. And just the team environment is just unlike anything I've ever been a part of. So I would say definitely join.
And it's a different experience because, like, it's not like losing a match where you have a whole team that, like, it's not like losing at lacrosse or basketball or something. It's really it's an individual sport in the fact that it's just you and this other person going at it for 6 minutes, giving it everything you can. And, like, even when you lose, it's hard, but it's really a really good sport. If you want to get more mentally tough, it's definitely a good sport to help you get mentally tough, and it really is a good sport that is going to affect your life even after you're done at
just
high
the
school.
Confidence
It really builds your confidence and tells you that you can do more than what you think.
Yeah, because even though it's like a team sport, it's like really individual and like I remember whenever I like did track, like when you're out there, you're by yourself, like you're representing your team, but it's like scary and nervous to be by yourself.
And it's also just fun to see everyone do their best and get to cheer everyone on. So that's also makes it feel less lonely. But
Right. Yeah.
What were we saying?
Yeah. Colin, where are we at?
We are officially at 12 minutes and 21 seconds.
Awesome.
Good.
Is there anything else you guys
Want to add?
I think no.
Come out and support us on senior night.
Yeah.
It was a big duel there. Olentangy ended up getting first at state duels, so it'll be a really good night to come out and hopefully see us beat some Orange.
February 11th?
I think so.
I think that's what it was.
I think that's what it was. I'll check and make sure.
We can double check and I'll put it in the description. But yeah. All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.